everyone, it's Kathy from Weight and Wellness, and today we are going to do a home strength training routine using resistance bands. So whether you got your resistance band from the clinic or if you've purchased it from a store, either is fine. You'll just need your band and a chair. And we'll do, I think between 8 and 10 exercises that will cover full body. And most will be seated, some are standing. So let's go ahead and begin with just a real quick warm up. See if I can get some room for myself here. So again, if you want to do the warm up standing, you can, or if you want to do it seated, then just follow along. But we'll just start off with a simple march. Now, just making sure that you're sitting up nice and tall, which means belly button to spine so that you're engaging your core, so that your abs are helping you sit up nice and strong. We've got the legs moving. Now with the upper body, we can just reach up. And here we're warming up the arms, the shoulders. And then we can change our arms to push in front. Get a little bit more of the chest. And our back muscles warmed up with this one. Still sitting up nice and tall. And then just bring the arms down, keep the legs going. And what we're gonna aim to do today is one set of 10 with each of our exercises. And like I said, these exercises will touch upon each of the major muscle groups of the body so that you'll get a really nice, basic, full body strength training routine in the comfort of your home. So the first one, that's it for our warm up, that we'll start with is a squat, which is a great exercise because it works all the muscles of the lower body. So it works your quadriceps or your thigh, the hamstrings, so the back of the thigh, and also the glutes. So this one is standing. So for this one, I'm gonna do it from the side so that you can kind of see my form. Your feet are about hip width apart and the toes are facing forward. And this one, it's just like you're going to go sit down in a chair that's behind you and then stand back up. So if you think about when you go sit down, the hips, the glutes, they have to go back. And chest comes a little forward, which is natural, and then standing back up. For this one, you don't have to go down very far. And also with a squat, it tends to be an exercise that a lot of people do incorrectly. So, like I said, when you're doing the squat, it's just like you're going to sit down in a chair that's behind you. The biggest mistake that people make is that they tend to lower themselves straight down. So instead of the hips going back and the chest coming a little forward, the wrong way is going straight down like this. And if you think about it, when you're doing this, knees are going over the toes, which is going to cause pain. So instead of this, you should be doing that. Okay? So let's go through our set of 10. Feet hip width apart, toes pointing forward. Another thing to keep in mind that can also help with form is that as you lower down, think about putting your body weight into your heels so that if you had to wiggle your toes, you could. All right, and again, only go as far down as what's comfortable for you. So we're just coming down and standing back up. We're gonna sit down. The phone rings, we have to stand back up and get the phone. Hands, you can have out in front if you would like for balance. They can be on your hips. You can rest them on a counter, just your fingertips to help with balance if you're a little unsure. Body weight in the heels, standing back up. Let's do a couple more. And there we go. That's a squat. Our next one is a knee extension. So This one, it's just bringing your lower leg out in front. So if you're new to exercise or have some knee issues, this one you might want to start off without using a band, and how it looks is just like this, raising the lower leg out in front. If you're ready for a band or you feel like you can tolerate some resistance, grab your band, and then you'll just tie it in a loop. Like so. And then with your loop, you'll put it around your ankle. And then the rest is just going to go on the floor. You're going to anchor it with your other foot. So, if this is still kind of new and you're not sure about how much tension, start off giving yourself quite a bit of slack as you do the exercise, and as the muscle gets stronger, you can take some of that slack away. But if you're in a good chair, you can sit all the way back so that your back is supported. Band is around the ankle, other foot's on top to anchor it down, and we're just going to start with our 1 set of 10, bringing the leg all the way up and then all the way back down, nice and slowly. Remembering to breathe. Not disturbing the hound, apparently. We'll do 3 more of this leg, and 2, and then we'll switch. And there we go. Take that loop off. It's going to go around your other ankle, just like so. The rest goes on the floor. You'll anchor it with your other foot. Again, kind of decipher how much slack you want. If you're new, you might give yourself more slack. If you've been doing this for a while, maybe take some of that slack away. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll do our 10. And you also want to be sure that you're able to get your full range of motion on this. So if you have the band set so tight that you can't get your full range of motion, it's too tight. You got to give yourself a little more slack. And doing that nice slow motion, remembering to breathe. Breathing is good. Do 2 more on this leg. Alrighty, and take that off. And we can keep the loop for our next exercise. So the knee extension, like we just did, worked the quadriceps. Now we're going to work the hamstring, which is the back of the thigh. So for this one, standing exercise. Again, if you're new to strength training, you may choose to do this one without the band, which is fine. And how it essentially looks is you're going to rest your body weight in one leg, and you just want to keep a slight bend in that knee so that you're not locking out your joint. The leg that you're going to be exercising, this one here, is we're just going to be raising the heel up behind us, and you can feel that muscle working back there. So if you're willing to give the band a try, same loop. That loop is going to go around the ankle once again. The rest goes on the floor just like we did with the last exercise. The other foot is going to anchor it down like so. And then you can just use the back of a chair or a countertop just to help out with balance. But just like I showed you without the band, we're going to take that heel and raise it up behind us. We'll try to stand up nice and tall. Nice and slow movements. Remembering to breathe. It sounds silly, but it's really easy to hold your breath. Last one. Yep, and then we'll switch. comes off. We'll go around the other ankle. Rest goes on the floor. Other foot's going to anchor it down. And then same thing, raising the heel up behind us. Nice and slowly. Standing up nice and tall. We've got 2 more, and then our next few will be seated. Here we go. So carefully take your band off. You can have a seat. And then you can undo your loop. Easier said than done. Okay. So we'll do a shoulder press next. So this one you could either do one arm at a time or both arms at the same time. You could do this one seated or standing. It would be much more difficult to do standing just because of the amount of tension that you'd have on your band. So for this one, if you're going to do this one arm at a time, you might choose to do one arm at a time if you know for a fact that your shoulders are rather weak. And so if you are just going to do one arm at a time, you can also give yourself a little more slack on that side that you're going to exercise. But I'm going to do both shoulders at the same time. So whether you do one arm or both arms, you're going to start with the arms out to the side, about a 90-degree bend at your elbow, sitting up nice and tall, and we're just going up overhead and coming back to that 90-degree bend. Remembering to breathe. Last one. And go. Next one that we'll do is a chest press. So that's going to work the chest, the front of the shoulders, a little bit of the arms as well. So for that one, I take the band and I just kind of flip it behind my back, like so. And then I usually just have the band come up under my arms. So just like with that shoulder press where we had a 90-degree bend in the arms like this, and we went up overhead, instead of going up overhead, we're just going to take the arms so that palms are facing down. We still have that 90-degree bend at our elbow, sitting up nice and tall, and then we're just pressing out in front. And again, doing one set of 10. And if this one starts feeling a little easy, the first step you can do, that was 10, is to reach further back on your band so that you're taking some of that slack away, and that can make it a little harder. If you've done that a few times and you still need a bit of a challenge, then you can take your band and put it behind the back of your chair, like so. So like a dining room chair, just because the backs tend to be taller. And then you can also scoot towards the edge of your seat. So now you've got a lot of tension on the band, still under the arms. I still have that 90-degree bend, and I'm still pressing straight out in front. So it's just a way to add more resistance without going up to the next band intensity. There's that. So that was for our chest. Our back is next. So we just take our band, goes under the feet, We're sitting up nice and tall, tummy in, arms straight down by your side, and all we're going to do is just pull back like so. So let me just show you from the side here. Sitting up nice and straight, and we're just pulling back so that elbows will be in, and then coming forward. So we'll do our set of 10. Okay, here we go. As you pull back, think about squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. That's going to help bring in more of the back muscle. Nice and tall, 2 more. 10, get that squeeze in back, okay? Keep the band right where it is, because now we're just going to do a quick transition to a bicep curl. So elbows come in. Again, if you wanted to do this one standing, you can. It's going to be a little more difficult because you're going to add that much more tension onto your band. And then we're just curling the forearms up. Three more, sitting up nice and tall, remembering to breathe. Last one. All right, you can step off your band. Next, we're going to do some seated core exercise or some seated ab exercises. So the first one is pretty similar to what we did in the warm-up, where we're just going to do like a slow march with our legs. So sitting up nice and tall, belly button to spine so that we're engaging the abs, and just lifting up. And this one here is really calling upon your lower abdominals. Try not to slouch. You want to sit up nice and tall. And then next, we'll keep the same motion, but we're going to add in an upper body twist. So here we can twist elbow and knee. Do not have to meet. Just by doing a twist of the upper body, that starts to bring in your obliques, your sides. So don't worry about making it look pretty or perfect. You know, even if it's just a little bit, like so, you're going to start bringing in those obliques. Let's do one more each side. All right, and let's add in our band for the last one. So I'm just going to turn my seat to the side so that you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So for this one, again, you want a dining room chair because the backs tend to be tall. Band is going to go behind the chair. And then you're going to bring the band up and over your shoulders. And then you're going to hug the band in tight to your upper chest. Just like this. Scoot towards the edge of your seat. So now I've got even more tension on my band. I'm going to take my knees out a little wide to give myself room as I come forward. This one here is essentially like doing a crunch, but without having to get on the floor and kink your neck and miss all that fun stuff. So sitting up nice and tall, belly button to spine, you're going to hinge forward from the hips while keeping a nice flat back. Okay, so hinge forward, flat back, arms or hands are right at your upper chest, holding the band nice and tight. Trixie decided to come back for the finale. Again, we're not bending at the waist because that won't be doing anything. We're hinging forward. Remember to breathe. belly button to spine. I think that was 10, but let's just do a few more. Good luck. All right. So all of those exercises give you a basic full body strength training workout. We did 1 set of 10. If you want to do 2 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 10, by all means, just go ahead, rewind back to the start and do so. Strength training 2 to 3 times a week on non-consecutive days to really get the benefits, to really get your metabolism boosted, because the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you're going to burn. And using resistance bands, you don't have to go to the gym and do like a crazy strength training workout or all that. Just going through these exercises will start to give you results. All right? So take care. Hope it worked out well for you, and stay well.